In this video, we're breaking down exactly why Terminator 2 still looks better than most modern movies. The practical effects, the early CGI that still holds up, the way James Cameron shot action, and the little details modern films keep forgetting. Grab your leather jacket and your shades, because you're going back to the days when a liquid metal cop could blow your mind without a green screen in sight.
Why? I know now why you cry.
Let's start with the big one. Terminator 2 is famous for its early CGI, but here's a secret everybody forgets. There's actually not that much of it. In a 2-hour-plus movie, there's only around 5 minutes of computer-generated imagery. 5 minutes. The rest? Miniatures, animatronics, stunt work, makeup pyrotechnics, real stuff captured in camera.
Open and turn. It reminds me a bit of the moment in, The Salmon Moose.
Back in 1991, CGI was like a magic trick. It was new, expensive, and hard. So James Cameron and the team at ILM used it only where it absolutely made sense, to do things that were literally impossible with practical effects. The T-1000 morphing, the liquid metal bullet holes closing, the body flowing through the bars. Those moments were treated like visual events, not wallpaper. Compare that to modern blockbusters where the entire environment, suits, vehicles, and sometimes even faces are created in a computer. The more you rely on digital everything, the more your eye starts to feel that weightless plastic video game float. T2 still looks grounded because the CGI is just a spice. The meal is still physical reality. If you grew up watching T2 on a chunky TV, you probably remember this movie as loud, smoky, and heavy. That's because so much of it is practical. When the biker bar windows shatter, that's real glass raining down on real stunt performers. When the semi-truck crashes off of the bridge in the LA River chase, that's an actual truck dangling from a crane slamming into a real concrete channel. When the T-800's arm is peeled back to reveal metal, that's Stan Winston's team using animatronics and prosthetics, not a digital model slapped on in post. Practical effects give you texture. You see the way dust hangs in the air, how fire lights the actors' faces, the debris bouncing off the ground. Your brain recognizes physics, and it's lived through. Weight, friction, resistance. When Arnold walks with a shotgun through a real steam and sparks, it doesn't feel like a superhero movie. It feels dangerous.
Stay here, I'll be back.
Get down on the floor, face down!
Modern blockbusters can blow up an entire city with a mouse click, but ironically, the more they destroy, the less you feel any of it. T2 blows up far fewer things, but each explosion feels like it could singe your eyebrows right through the screen. Now let's talk about the star of the show, the T-1000. On paper, it sounds like a recipe for overused CGI, a liquid metal shapeshifter that can do anything. But watch the movie again. Most of the time, Robert Patrick isn't a CGI effect. He's just a guy, moving a little too smoothly, a little too fast, with a stare that never blinks. The film saves the wild transformations for key moments. His head splitting open from a shotgun blast, the body melting through prison bars, the face flowing up from the tiled floor. Each effect is short, clean, and framed clearly. No shaky cam, no hypercut editing. You actually get to see the trick. And just as important, they blend it with practical work. That iconic shot of the T-1000's head split in two, it's a physical prosthetic with a digital touch-up. The bullet hits that ripple across his body are often achieved with squibs and practical gags first, CGI second. Because they hold back, the T-1000 never becomes a visual noise. He stays uncanny instead of cartoony. Your brain fills in with blanks between the big moments, which makes him feel more real and much more unsettling.
Hasta la vista, baby.
One big reason T2 blows away modern blockbusters is simple. You can actually tell what's going on. The action is staged and shot with clarity. James Cameron uses wide shots to establish geography, then moves into closer coverage only when it helps the emotion or the impact. You always know where the characters are in relation to each other.
How do we set them off? Remote control. I'll take you off the police.
Hey, wait, you swore!
Trust me.
Take the LA River chase. We start wide. John on the dirt bike, T-1000 in the truck, the massive empty channel stretching ahead. As the chase escalates, the camera gets closer, but never so close that you lose track of who's chasing who. Every cut adds information. It doesn't just add chaos.
Trying to fuck her up as you get close to that lift there?
Modern blockbusters often rely on fast cuts, shaky cam, and super tight shots to hide CGI seams or stunt doubles. You get a lot of motion, but not a lot of meaning. T2 lets the stunts speak for themselves. When Arnold reloads a shotgun with that iconic spin, the shot lingers just long enough for your brain to go, wait, did he actually do that? That's the kind of thing that sticks with you for decades. Part of why T2 hit so hard is the way it breathes. It was made before every blockbuster had to set up a cinematic universe, tease 3 sequels, and cram in 20 quips per minute. The movie has big, loud set pieces, but it also has quiet stretches where we just hang out with the characters. Think about that scene at the desert compound where John teaches the T-800 to high-five and say, no problemo. There are no huge effects there, just time spent making you care about a robot and a kid. That emotional investment is exactly why the action feels so intense later.
And if you want to shine them on, it's hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Modern blockbusters often cut every scene to the bone, trimming out the slower beats in favor of constant spectacle. The result is a non-stop highlight reel that somehow feels less memorable. T2 balances awe with attachment. When the big moment arrives, the truck crash, the helicopter chase, the final sacrifice, they land like a punch.
I know now why you cry.
Maybe the most nostalgic thing about Terminator 2 is that it was built to be watched over and over again. Back then, studios wanted movies that would crush at the box office, but also live on in theaters, on VHS, on cable. They had to withstand repeat viewing. That meant you couldn't rely on trendy effects or hypercurrent references. You needed craftsmanship that aged gracefully. Solid story structure, clear visual design, effects that would still look impressive when the technology moved on. And it worked. We're over 3 decades later and people are still watching T2, still sharing gifs of the T-1000, still quoting "Hasta la vista, baby."
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Meanwhile, a lot of modern blockbusters are built for opening weekend impact. They're loud, crowded, and drenched in quickly rendered CG that looks outdated just a few years later. T2 isn't just a good movie from the 90s. It's a reminder of when summer blockbusters were handcrafted events, meant to stick with you, not just pass in front of you.
Jesus, you were gonna kill that guy!
Of course, I'm a Terminator.
So why does Terminator 2 still look better than most modern blockbusters? Because it's a perfect storm. Practical effects that feel tangible, early CGI used like a scalpel instead of a sledgehammer, crystal clear action cinematography, and an editing rhythm that actually lets you bond with the characters. It came from a time when filmmakers had to work within limits, and instead of seeing those limits as a problem, they turned them into art. That's the kind of movie that doesn't just age well, it makes you a little sad that we don't see more like it. Let me know in the comments, what's your first Terminator 2 memory? Which shot still blows your mind today? Thanks for watching, and remember the future is not set, but T2 being a timeless classic, that feels pretty inevitable. Keep watching, keep loving movies, and never stop chasing the magic of cinema.
I'll be back.
Because if a machine, a Terminator, can learn the value of human life, maybe we can too.